So what are the pros and the cons of starting a spice business? So in this video, we're going to go over the 30 pros and cons of launching and growing a successful spice business. And it's not always what it's cracked up to be. So I'm going to go down a list of all the good things. And of course, with every business venture, there is a downside. So I'm going to go over those as well. We're going to dive into those 30 pros and cons of spice businesses right now. Welcome back to Marketing Food Online. So in this video, as I mentioned in the introduction, we're going to give you some great tips and pointers on launching and growing a spice business, but we're going to give you the good sides and of course the downsides. Now, as always, if this is your first video, you definitely want to hit the subscribe button. We have over 1,000 videos here on Marketing Food Online to help you, the food entrepreneur, get your business up and running. All right, so the first thing we're going to dive into, the pros. So pros of starting and running a spice business. All right, so right off the bat, wide market. Everyone uses spices, obviously. They are essential in every kitchen globally. So there is a huge customer base for it already in the marketplace. Next up, increasing demand. With more people becoming food enthusiasts, the demand for unique but high quality spices is growing rapidly. Potential for a high profit margin. Now, if you source directly from farmers or produce your own spices, you can enjoy high profit margins with a very small spice business. Online and e-commerce selling. Spices are very lightweight, making it easy to ship, making online sales a viable option and broadening your market to nearly hundreds of millions of potential customers through Amazon, eBay, and even Etsy. Now, there's a low startup cost. Depending on the business model, starting a spice business can actually have a lower upfront cost than literally any other food business known. Now, this also has a flexible business model. It can be started from home. You can even start and sell in retail stores. You can sell it online, but the flexibility is diverse in where you can go with your commerce business. Easy to diversify. So once established, the business can easily expand into related products, things like herbs, you can do teas, or even spice blends, increasing your overall profit margin. Value addition opportunities. You can offer premium products like even organic spices, spice gift sets, or even spice blends, increasing your profit margin per transaction. Seasonal sales boost. Now, there are many spices that experience a high demand during certain seasons or festivals. So far, if you found this information helpful, definitely give us a big thumbs up. And as always, if you have any comments, leave them in the section down below in the comments. We love to build out video content on you guys, our subscribers' questions. So let us know about your spice business. Next up, food trends opportunities. Now, capitalizing on food trends like ethnic foods or even health-conscious choices can actually increase your overall sales for your spice business. It's something you definitely should look into. Global sourcing. So you could source spices pretty much from anywhere in the world, providing a diverse product range. And if you dive into spice blends as opposed to the individual spices, you can even have additional profit margins. Now, the other great thing is low storage space requirements. Spices are compact, guys, so they don't really take up a lot of requirement space for storing or even warehousing them. So you can have a ton of them in a very small amount of space. There's also the health and wellness market. Now, spices like ginger, turmeric are sought after for their health benefits, giving another additional market angle when you begin to sell these spices. Educational opportunities. Now, you can also offer workshops or even tasting events, believe it or not, and they can create a community of customers that are loyal to your brand within just your area. And if you go online, you can increase that. Long shelf life. Properly stored spices can actually last quite a bit of time, reducing your loss and spoilage. All right, so now that we've covered the pros, we need to cover the cons with every business, of course, as I mentioned, and every venture. Actually, there's always two sides to the coin. So let's dive into the downside, the things that are not exactly the most fun part of spice businesses or potentially not all that positive. All right, here are the cons of starting and running a spice business. All right, so right off the bat, regulations and compliance. So food businesses, like spice businesses, face very strict health and safety regulations, which can be challenging to navigate, especially if you're just launching and don't understand them fully. Next up, supply chain complexity. Now, as I mentioned, sourcing spices globally can lead to a supply chain issue, including quality control, logistical issues, and even customs problems. Of course, heavy competition. The spice market is highly competitive. With several established brands that actually already have a significant market share, it's a little bit of a challenge to get other people to see your product, especially when you're online. Customer trust. Now, convincing customers to switch from their favorite brands to your small spice startup can be a difficult challenge, especially from the marketing perspective. Storage conditions. Spices need to be stored correctly to maintain their aroma and flavor, which can be challenging, even though they have a long shelf life. Spoilage and waste. Now, despite that long shelf life, spices can spoil or lose their potency, leading to waste over time if they're not stored properly. Now, next up is going to be marketing costs. Now, to stand out in a crowded marketplace, significant marketing and branding efforts will be needed in order for people to get the attention on your specific spice brand. Now, inventory management. Now, managing a wide variety of spices and blends can be complicated, especially when you're sourcing them from overseas or from a multitude of different countries. Fluctuating commodity prices. Now, this is a big one. The prices of raw spices can fluctuate literally from week to week, impacting your profit margins and making it difficult for you to be profitable. Quality consistency. Now, when you source, maintaining the same quality and taste across batches can be very difficult, especially if you're mixing them by hand and not using a lot of equipment. The initial capital. Now, while startup costs may be lower than other businesses, the initial investment for inventory, though, packaging and equipment for the inventory is still required and could be somewhat costly up front. Now, scaling your business. Scaling the business requires careful planning to maintain quality and, of course, customer satisfaction while you're trying to increase profits and productivity. Now, seasonality. And now, while certain seasons can boost in sales, there may also be slow periods affecting your cash flow when spices aren't predominantly used during holiday seasons or other events. Health claims. Now, making health claims about certain spices can lead to actually legal issues if you don't properly substantiate your claims through the FDA website. All right, so there you have it. It is the 30 pros and cons of launching and growing a spice business. Now, if you are contemplating a spice business for yourself, let us know what stage of where you're at in your business itself, and let us know down in the comments section. As I mentioned before, we love to build out our videos and we'll answer your questions through our Q&A questions on another video. Check out these additional resource videos here about the spice business here on our channel, Marketing Food Online. And definitely remember to share this video with anyone that you may know that's looking to launch a spice business.